So, data science and artificial intelligence study programs offered by the universities you see here on screen. We will have for sure 2 presentations. I will try to get the third one as well. If not, then I will present it really briefly so that in case somebody explicitly wanted to apply to this program, also have some insights or at least the info email. Of course, a few words about the organizer of today's session, which is my German university, Germany's largest study program database. Here you can find all programs available in English, German, or different languages or combination of languages. So earlier, if I was saying it's the largest English study program database, now it's largest study program database at all, because you can find the programs also in Japan. But I believe today's interest is English study programs. Therefore, let's move to the next slide, which is about our articles. We have comprehensive articles. Those articles are translated into different languages. They are covering topics interesting for internationals mainly, because topics such as visa or uni-assist or how to apply and scholarships could be interesting for internationals, and we take it very serious as internationals as well. We try to then share with you our own experiences, so that's not just a combination of information, but our own ways how we made it to a German university and then later on stayed for some time. And of course, those webinars, obviously you know them because you're right now one of them. Just to mention, we also have general webinars in topics such as scholarships, uni-assist, visa, opportunity card, blocked account, and we also have studying in Germany webinar in Spanish. In case one of those things are interesting, feel free to join me or my colleagues in our general webinars as well. This is our team. We are based in Hamburg, Germany. We are counseling in different languages from different parts of Germany. Please don't take counseling as one-on-one counseling or so that we do application on your behalf for the program. No, we try to connect you with the program, provide all the necessary information. It's always best if you apply yourself so that you already know your future program. And from today's session, you can already get in touch with your future professors or administrative staff. So it's always like counseling in this sense. Now, a bigger, deeper dive into our study finder. I mentioned that you can use the study finder to narrow down search and find most suitable programs. So if you go for artificial intelligence, you can select subjects, and it can be multiple subjects, and you have 148-degree programs. You then narrow down. Of course, you not go one by one. You can always narrow down your search according to degree level, tuition, semester, how to apply, and all other things. You can have like lots of filters applied. This is combinable, and then you can sort your programs according to preferences once again. And the very important is to keep everything in one place, so you can always favor a program and then see if the program is scheduled for a webinar or there is another info session. So all of that is always updated. We also have our new subject pages, and those subject pages, actually, they were launched last week, and now they are much more user-friendly, let's say like this, and you can find much more information. So in this case, you see 2 subject pages for artificial intelligence, data science, and you even have, because we noticed people like rankings, so there are lots of rankings also, most popular artificial intelligence, locations, universities, study programs, and so on. And you can have a quick look, how do you need to apply, what are the approximate deadlines. So now we kind of had this information, but it's now renewed and actually really nicely looking and the interactive page, let's say like this. However, we always advise, and it's the biggest advice we could give, is to check each study program separately. Please do not generalize, especially about the application documents and deadlines. Not all programs have it the same, especially for international applicants. Usual deadlines could be earlier due to taking into account the visa situation and the waiting times. So please check all programs separately, individually, carefully, and apply like this so that you are making an informed decision. Really briefly about the universities in Germany, in case you are encountering it for the first time, there are universities of the applied sciences, What you can have in mind is that universities usually have research and theory-oriented programs. Universities of applied sciences usually have programs that are application and practice-based. However, going back to my previous slide, check each program individually, as there could be exceptions on both sides. And again, do not generalize. What is another important point is that on the program of this program, before applying, you need to check qualification requirements to make sure that you meet qualification requirements, and then you are this way eligible to apply. And later on, you can see a list of documents. So once you know yourself that you meet these requirements, then you can already start collecting the documents. All right, now it's my pleasure to give the mic to Professor Dr. Vera Dembeck, who will be talking about Data Science Artificial Master Science program from Saarlandes University. Very important, maybe for you, 15th of November, just make note right now if you don't know yet.
I'm very happy to have the opportunity to present it to you here. So this is our M.Sc, Data Science and Artificial Intelligence. And of course, the first question, and maybe you've already answered this for yourself since you've, you're joining the session, but why should you study this at this moment? And I think that there's a lot of developments currently around the world which make data science and artificial intelligence more and more relevant, important tools for the future. So you can see many topic areas that are shown on the slide, ranging from medicine, environment, over robotics, speech assistance, large language models, visual scene understanding, marketing, and so on. And that affect very many areas of our everyday life, which there's currently a lot of work and development going on in order to support all of these areas through better artificial intelligence AI systems, and analyze the available data in better and better detail, and also find more effective ways of collecting data, representing data, and processing data. And this is a central goal of the study program, to equip you with all of those tools and basics that you would need in order to enter this kind of area. And then why should you study DSAI at Saarlandes University? I think there's 3 good reasons, at least three that I want to talk about here. So the first one of them here is that at Saarlandes University, there's a lot of computer science relevant content and institutes, research centers that have various research projects running in which you can get involved. So this includes the Computer Science Department of Saarlandes University and the Department of Language Science and Technology. There's also 2 Max Planck institutes here on campus, the one for informatics, the one for software systems. We have also the German Research Center for Artificial Intelligence, DFKI. There's the 𝘱𝑎 Center for Information Security, Center for Bioinformatics. And then, for people who are interested also in a PhD afterwards, there's the Saarbrücken Graduate School of Computer Science and the International Max Planck Research School for Computer Science. So all of these in a really dense space here on campus. This is a view. You can see that Saarlandes University is a campus where, all things are essentially in one place. You can easily go from the MPI to the Computer Science Department or the DFKI and, take courses with lecturers from all of these different research institutes. Now, a second good reason, which partially results, of course, from the first reason, is the great variety of in-depth courses that we can offer in the DSAI area. So what I'm showing you on this slide is roughly how you can imagine your M.Sc study to proceed. So in the first year, usually you will take various core lectures and advanced lectures, maybe a seminar. And for these, you can always choose from a large variety of different lectures that are offered. And I'm just, showing here a few examples. There could be additional ones. What we offer exactly can change a little bit from year to year. So, there's these core lectures here. Then here in the advanced lectures, you can see more specific topics such as computational social choice, equations in image processing and computer vision, quantum AI, generative AI, and so on. And then the seminars are a type of course where you can really enter some topic in more depth, where you have in-depth discussion on a certain topic area, reading scientific papers and discussing them with your peers. And for this, we have always a very large choice of different topics from which you can choose. So here, this gives you an opportunity to also, discuss with lecturers in more detail, maybe already identifying topics that you might want to pursue later on for your thesis, for instance. And then our study program also provides you with a good deal of free choice of further seminars from this large variety of courses, additional lectures that can be from the DSAI program, or more broadly from the computer science program, or also from an application area, right? So we said that in the beginning, DSAI really is about applying computer science data analysis methods and AI methods to specific application areas. And therefore, as part of your studies, you can also choose to take a course from one of these application areas, or do your project at the intersection between computer science and one of these areas. And, here I'm listing just a few exemplary ones. Of course, there's more that you could choose from. Then in the second year, again, you have, free choice of lectures that fit your interest, allow you to specialize, really deeply get into some of these topics, as well as the master seminar and the master thesis, where the master seminar basically will be a course where you intensively study with one professor to identify your master's thesis topic and conduct first steps in terms of the literature review and research experiments in preparation for your master's thesis. A third reason for why studying at Saarland University could be particularly interesting is the career opportunities. And there's two important paths here. One of them is the strong industry linkage, so collaboration with companies that have links here on campus, such as Google, Microsoft, Airbus, and so on. As well as, for those of you who are rather interested in, doing a PhD as well, you can have a very smooth transition to the PhD research through our Saarbrücken Graduate School of Computer Science, where we currently have more than 400 PhD students in computer science. So, this is also, a large number of research students here who engage in various research topics. Now, a few words about funding. Many of our masters, so there's no fees basically for studying here. There's only small, semester Beitrag basically, which gives you reduced rates, for instance, at the Mensa, the university canteen. But students also oftentimes get hands-on research experience as a student research assistant, which also allows them to earn some money while at the same time also getting involved into a research project. And then specifically for students in the DSAI area, we also have a few ELISA master's stipends. So for these ones, you can apply through the To the School ELISA. You can see that this, has Saarland universities of one of the partners in it. And if you become an ELISA scholar, then you will also benefit from various networking opportunities with these other ELISA sites. So to summarize, we have a great blend of, on the one hand, a rigorous research environment with research institutes that do a lot of world-class research in a wide variety of areas, from computer vision over theoretical computer science, natural language processing, computational social science, bioinformatics, and so on. We have this broad interdisciplinary curriculum from which you can choose. And we do have a lot of international students in our master's program, since all of our instruction is in English, and we have a long tradition already of running these programs in English, and really have a very, very international blend of participants and students in this program. All right, so with this, I'm at the end of my presentation, and I'd be happy to, if you have some urgent questions right away, I'd be happy to answer them, or otherwise, of course, there's a discussion period later.
Nino, for the warm introduction, and thanks for everybody to join us today. So my name is 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘵𝘳𝘪𝘱. I'm program manager of one of the international master programs at 𝘱𝑇W Berlin, University of Applied Sciences, which you have already heard in the introduction about the differences between university and University of Applied Sciences in Germany. And I will come back later to that. But first, let me very shortly introduce 𝘱𝑇W Berlin to you. We're the largest University of Applied Sciences in Berlin and one of the largest in Germany, with 5 faculties and 80 degree programs. We have round about 14,000 students, and round about 3,000 of those students are internationals. Roughly 300 professors teach at 𝘱𝑇W Berlin, along with 800 associate lecturers, and we have about 3,000 graduates every year. So you already heard about University of Applied Sciences, so I can make this very short. And basically, the important thing to remember and understand is that at a University of Applied Sciences, the teaching will be very practice-oriented, and also geared towards market demands. And that reflects in all the different aspects of the university life. For one, we have professors with rich industry experience who will teach you. There will be many practical exercises and workshops and case studies during the lectures and seminars. There are a lot of cooperations with companies and internships available. And you can also write your master's thesis at a company. So what this really adds up to is a high degree of employability. And that's not only me saying that, that's also HR managers who have a ranking, a yearly ranking in one of the biggest business magazines of Germany, the 𝘱𝘢𝘳𝘀. And in that journal, 𝘱𝑇W is every year ranked among the best industry-oriented study programs in Germany and in Germany's universities of applied sciences, but not only, in the whole university landscape, really. If you're interested more in rankings of 𝘱𝑇W, just Google it, 𝘱𝑇W rankings, and then you will find out also about rankings by students of our programs and different rankings. So now I would like to introduce you to one of our study programs, and that is the International Masters in Project Management and Data Science, or MPMD for short. It is a Masters of Science from German State University. It covers 4 semesters and 120 ECTS. It's taught fully in English. One specialty of the program is that you also have the option to study online or on campus, or switch between modes if you need or want to. And there's a tuition fee for the program, which comes to 17,600 euros for the full program of 2 years. And then on the right-hand side of this presentation slide, you can see some of the points that our students are really happy about with the program. And the first of which is that you will be competent in the dual fields of both data analysis and project management when you study with us. There's also small classes of maximum 40 students. And still there will be 16 or more nationalities in every cohort in our classes. You will study in Berlin, which is also a factor that many of our students value very much, since it's a very multinational and vibrant place to be in. And you also have excellent career prospects. One thing that I would also like to mention that is different from many other programs is that we do welcome career changes. So that means you need not have studied either project management or data science before, as long as you're dedicated to the subject and motivated and willing to spend the effort and time to get into it, then you're welcome to the program. This is actually something that attracts many of our international students who come from different fields. And realize at some point in their career that, as Professor Demberg said, data science is everywhere nowadays. You cannot escape it. Virtually every project is data-driven. All the different fields of our life are moving towards data analysis, artificial intelligence also. And many of our students come to a point in their career where they realize this is how far I will get with my studies in whatever they have studied. And if I want to go on from here, I need to have some knowledge in data science, and it will probably be really helpful to be versed in project management. I mentioned before excellent career prospects, and that's also, again, not just me saying this, but here you can, for example, see a survey that we did with our alumni, and you can see that close to 90% or 80% of our students find a job within 6 months after graduation. Actually, many find jobs before they graduate, for example, while writing their master's thesis with a company. Most go on to work in data science. Some have their focus on project management. And roughly half of our graduates stay on in Berlin, at least for a couple of years. And about 40% of our graduates move to other places in Germany to start their career there or continue their career really. And the gross annual income will typically be more than 50,000 euros per year, and about close to 30% earn 80,000 euros per year after their studies. And there's a significant leap from their previous income, and also a leap in their job position. And again, if you would like to learn more about this, go to our website and you will find more details from our alumni survey. So what is the study program about, or how does it develop? It's a 4-semester program. And as I said, since we welcome career changes, the program will start with foundational knowledge in both data analytics and project management, and will move on to eye level with experts in both fields, really, in the 2nd semester. So it's a fairly steep learning curve. And then in the 3rd semester, there's a deepening in application of both data science and project management, and also the combination of both. But of course, being a University of Applied Sciences, also in the first 2 semesters, you will typically, in almost all of our courses, you will work on case studies and work in groups and on real cases also. Before then, in the 4th semester, you're writing your master's thesis. There is an option to have a gap semester between the 3rd semester and the master's thesis. And roughly half of our students use this opportunity to start working with a company, and typically they will also write their thesis with a company afterwards. But you don't have to. You can also go on and finish your studies after 4 semesters. And roughly, yeah, the other half of our students does that. It's really up to you. So I already mentioned that one of our specialties is that you can study the program both online and on campus. So you have the flexibility to switch between 2 modes. And the question is, so how do we do this? There will be real-time lectures on campus, some online only, but mostly on campus. And these will be streamed as interactive videos. So you can choose to either come to campus or take part via video session, just as we are doing now here. Only that you would be expected to participate a little more and not only in the end. There's also case studies and group work that you can participate also in a hybrid or in a hybrid fashion, or in parallel on campus and online. And additionally to classes, you will also find self-paced online learning with videos, readings, self-tests, etc. in our learning platform. This is especially helpful for students new to the one or the other field, because then they can learn in their own speed and maybe take some more time for this or the other topic, while not everybody has to wait to do that. Okay, so of course, 𝘱𝑇W Berlin offers the full student services that you would expect from any university, such as library, electronic library, PC pools, canteens, sports centers, etc. There's also software packages that you can use as a student of 𝘱𝑇W. Since we are a University of Applied Sciences, there's also a strong focus on supporting our students in starting their jobs or even starting their own company. So there's a career center that will support you with finding a job, and also a startup competence center. And for MPMD students, there's additional services by the international office and by a dedicated MPMD program office, where you will find a colleague of mine and me, and we are always happy to help you with any questions, either before you come to study with us, say with how to apply for a visa, health insurance, all the questions that pop up before you come to a new country. But we will also be there and support you during the course of the studies. We also do some excursions. We have Christmas events and introductory rounds, etc. Here on the slide in the, what is it, right left-hand corner, you see picture of our yearly canoeing event, which is also always a highlight and yeah, something to look forward to. We also already heard from Nina that you should take care to meet the requirements. So what are the requirements for the Project Management and Data Science program? It's a bachelor's degree of 180 ECTS, but it can be in any subject, basically. You do have to have 1 year of postgraduate work experience. You obviously need to be fluent in English since the program is in English, and you do need motivation. So we actually ask you for a motivational letter. You don't have to send it, but it's really helpful if you do. And it is also really, really helpful if you write it yourself. This is not to say that you cannot be supported by AI, or obviously we not only talk about and teach AI, we also use it, and we know that you do, and that's fine. But what you should not do is have AI write your motivational letter, but you should tell us why you think the program is the right program for you, and not have ChatGPT or some other program decide that on your behalf. So that's my personal tip for a motivational letter. Let us know who you are, why you want to come, why you think we're the right program for you. And for the really quick decided among you who want to maybe already start in the next summer semester, there's the deadline for the application for summer 2026 is running out at the end of the week. So feel free to send us your application by 31st of August. Of course, there will be a next application period again for winter semester 26 if you decide later on. That is no problem either. And we talked about career changes welcome already. If you need any help, if you have any questions that we cannot cover in the Q&A session following the presentations, then please do write to us at admission-mpmd, and we will be very happy to help you. Again, we have put a lot of information also on our website, mpmd-hdw-berlin.de, and you will also find a special page for applications which lists all the documents that you need, etc., etc. So to sum up, yeah, start of studies, the next start of studies is in October, but the application deadline for that is closed already. So application deadline is 31st of August for start of studies on April 1st, 26. And then from November onwards, the application will be open for you if you want to start your studies in October 26. And you will also find later on in this presentation all the contact details for the program. So I hope I could give you a little bit of an impression. And if you want to learn more about the program and also about the different topics and how much AI comes into DS and why and what about project management, again, go to our website. You will find the full study program with a description of all the modules and contents on our website. Thanks a lot. And of course, I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that come in our Q&A session.
Thank you much. Thank you for this information. It was indeed very important input. And yeah, there are questions that we will just start answering. But before that, as promised, unfortunately, I couldn't get the speaker. But in case the program is rescheduled for another date, I will let you know. Just quickly, in case you joined the webinar specifically for the Data Analytics Bachelor's program, please take into account that first you need to check if you qualify for direct admission at a German university, because if your high school is from outside Germany, EU, there could be a different procedure that you may have to do, which is a 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥𝘪𝘕. And in case you need to do a 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥𝘪𝑔 in German, it will be in German. Otherwise, you can do 1 year of university at your home country and then apply to the program directly. For you, the information interesting and important will be again the deadline, 15th of January. There are no tuition fees and the semester contribution is mentioned here. And for content, obviously, I'm not the person to take this information right now, but you can have a look on our page. I'll post the link why this is a good program, some features, special facts, requirements, of course, English B2, German B1, as it's also mentioned from the beginning, and further application procedures. So for all programs, this is listed like this. I already saw one question in Q&A, what are the application documents for? So all programs, you can see them listed like this. And of course, then the contact information as well. All right, so right now I will just really quickly put this link that I was just sharing in chat. In case somebody wants to have a look, feel free to. All right, so let's start. Maybe let's start with Rachel. The question was, I have a question. If we are already studying computer science in university and we want to continue with third year, is it possible to transfer? So I think, Naila, if you're still here, third year could be for bachelor's. Maybe then you need to graduate and then apply. But if it's a third year master's program, I don't know. Is it possible to transfer from abroad, or it's advisable to better to like apply as a regular applicant, and since you already have some background, maybe it will be better? I don't know, Silke or Rahel.
Yeah, I can pick up
Yeah.
the question, sure. Yeah, if you have studied modules that are comparable in scope and topic with modules offered in the program, then these can be accredited. You would have to ask for accreditation before you enroll, or with enrollment actually. It usually is not really possible to jump semesters or years because of the rather unusual combination of project management and data science. So even if you have studied either data science or project management before, it is not so likely that you will cover all of the modules in a semester and so can jump it, but maybe it could be possible that you can, do it in a denser time frame or else have less modules in one semester. So yes, it's possible.
Maybe I could just add that for Saarland University as well, admitted applicants can ask for the recognition of former achievements, but only after being admitted and after being enrolled. So it's not done before.
Thank you. Let me stay with Saarland. What is the share of prior knowledge and how much is built from the ground up? My background is in computer science. Thanks.
So the background is very important, and it's very important to have the necessary background in math and computer science. And I would like to refer to our application guide, so I can also share the link. So there it's also explained, so what is needed for math, and also it's also looked at what students have prior knowledge in machine learning, what they have in this area. So that is very important.
Mhm. Thank you. I think a question to both of you. Can the elective be German language? Let's start with 𝘗𝘳𝘕 Berlin.
Okay. No, the elective cannot be German, but we do support you when you want to try when you want to learn German. So there's intensive German courses before the start of each semester. And we also support you in finding suitable courses. And yes, try our best to give you a hand in learning German.
Which you will definitely need. Let's go with Stella.
So our curriculum allows giving credits for, I think, one language course. So it can, if you're not a mother tongue speaker for German, it's possible, or otherwise another language. And we do encourage learning German, and yeah. So
Definitely, yes.
Can you please listen the degree? Okay, Nevin, I will answer your question separately. Please clarify you prefer to as a solid background in Bachelor. So I think for Saarland you need to have computer science. Let me check. Or maybe you can take the question.
I think it's a little bit the same question as before, no? Like, what are the requirements or the profile? And I would refer to the application guide where it's well explained. You have to show that you know that you have done a theoretical informatics, that you have necessary background in math and practical informatics. So
I will just quickly share this. So you have to have computer science or informatics or a close related field. But in case some applicant with computer science and another one with informatics applied, you would not say that computer is better than informatics, right? So there is, in this sense, no prioritization other than that maybe other achievements, right?
if I got the question right, yeah, I think there is no prioritization. Yeah.
Do you have anything similar with in Berlin, 𝘗𝘳𝘕 Berlin?
No, since we're open to all fields, we start from scratch. We progress quite quickly to advanced levels. And if it really makes it, whether you have studied computer science or project management before or no, or have experience in it, some people have not studied it, but have informal experience in the field. That will, of course, help with understanding and following the subject. And you will likely not be spending as much time with the topics as someone completely new to the field or more or less new to the field. Actually, almost, I mean, none of our students really did not have any contact with data science or project management before they start studying, because also you have to become interested in the field somehow. So most have done some work or some courses in the field, but of course it varies. But yes, formally there's no requirement, and it's a question of enthusiasm and motivation, really. And then depending on your prior knowledge, you would have to expect to work longer or shorter hours for the different modules, really.
Thank you. Another question for Saarland, again, about the background. I don't know if you have already shared the link. Yeah, I will copy it because it's for hosts and panelists only. So I just copied it for everyone. Dear, also like the question that I will read out, it will be referred to this link, so I'll just still read out, and it's listed. Is a first degree in statistics considered a competitive qualification for applying to DSAI? And yeah, the answer will be please check with this handbook, maybe. Or
It can work if we can then find there all these different areas like in math, computer science. It can work.
Mm.
So the nomination of the degree is not the most important.
Thank you. Question: do you also have industry guest speakers and job fairs? Let's start with Saarland and then Silke.
So here in our building, I think it takes place each year is the next. So this is like a fair where lots of companies come from this computer science area. And there are other job fairs also in Saarbrücken or in Luxembourg. So I think there are a lot of things going on. The other thing was like industry speakers or speakers from like guest lectures. So I know we had somebody from Google, from different companies who come here, and interested students can join. So sometimes there's something organized and some students join and others ignore it. So.
Can you add anything, Silke?
Yeah, there's also quite a number of guest speakers from the industry in the modules of the MPMD program. Especially in the higher semesters, you will also have lecturers from the field who are actually working in the industry, and who will give you like a hands-on, really close insight on what is going on in the field and what are the tasks that you have to cover when you work in the field, basically. Job fairs, not for the program, but obviously there's quite a number of job fairs in Berlin, and we have what we call a student hub. It's an information platform in our learning platform where we bring together all the relevant information, and that also would include things like job fairs and industry, just information on the industry and the branches. And we will point out to you any upcoming events that we learn of.
Thank you. So there are a few questions about how do you accept people, what do you take into account, does GPA matter only, or you take other things into account? There is a general question saying that I have heard it's difficult for internationals to apply, even if the GPA is quite good, around 1.7 German grading system and similar things. So maybe just to combine all such questions, could you say what are the main points? Of course, you are looking at the whole application. That's why you are listing documents that you are requiring. But since there are admission restrictions, or you still have to rank applicants, what should they pay attention to? Silke also mentioned about the motivation letter and its importance. I also checked it's even possible to do a video instead of writing. Yeah, so be creative, but maybe it's also better to hear it from you. What is the most important when you have so many applicants and you need to select 40, or I don't know how many you take per intake? Let's start with Darlan.
I think what's important for international applicants, for all applicants, is to really read the formal requirements. So we have these requirements, which I know repeated a lot, but also like the C1 requirement for English. So we get a lot of applications where applicants missed something or they didn't realize, okay, this is important. So I would say the most important is to really read well. And I think you said that, only apply if you fulfill the requirements. So you need the necessary C1 English certificate. That's new. We started now with the GRE. You need the GRE if you come from a lot of countries in the world. And then it's like our committees who have a look at the applications as a whole, and it's difficult for me to say anything. Everything must be there. There must be this math, the basic, and it's also like they have a look and see if applicants have what it needs to succeed here. Maybe I can say it like this.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. What about HTW Berlin?
Yeah, there's formal requirements. So, and they're combined into a ranking. And for the ranking, 50% of the grades are relevant. And with 1.7 in German equivalent grade, you would be quite high. And then 25% working experience, and you need 12 months. If you have more than or more, if you have 24 months or more, then you will get additional points in the ranking. And the same for English. You absolutely need B2, and also then have to demonstrate maybe in a short interview that you can follow the program. But if you have a C1 or better, that will push you quite a bit up the ranking. So if you want to invest in preparation for the ranking and to better your ranking, then go ahead and learn English and do an English test and pass C1. That's always a good idea. And having said that, that's the formal requirements, but we do get quite a number of applications that in the ranking are quite similar, and then we have to decide who to offer the places that are still available. And then soft factors may come in, and this is very much the question of, are you burning for the topic? What is, I can only repeat myself here, what is your motivation to come and study? Because of course that will also largely decide on your success, because coming to a new country and studying in a different country, maybe not in your mother tongue, that's all, everything is something that is demanding and not always easy. And then you have to stick to your decision and go through with it. And fortunately, we have very, very few students who don't finish their studies within 5 semesters or so. I think it's 95% of our students finish their studies within 5 semesters, which is a fairly good number. But that's also, I think, because we really try and understand if the program is the right program for you. And if you can convince us that this is the case, then your chances are pretty good.
Thank you very much. You just mentioned about graduating within the given time, and the question is, I have heard that generally speaking, it's quite common for master students in Germany to graduate in about 2.5 to 3 years, including doing an internship of 6 to 1 year. I've also heard that securing a full-time position with the company where one was interpolary is considered a fortunate outcome. Is this a common pathway for your students, and how do you view the role of internships in their career progression?
Should I start?
Maybe.
Yeah. as I mentioned before, we have we have the option for a gap semester where you can do an internship, and that is also because we think that it's or for very many students, it's a very good first step into the job market. You have experience, you can demonstrate that you function in the German job market. That's something I think that should not be undervalued. That German employers also want to be secure in choosing their employees. And if you have successfully worked in Germany before, that's a big plus. So that's something you might want to look at. And so yes, we support it, but it's optional. You don't have to do an internship. If your plans are completely different, if you, for example, want to start your own company, or you're already working in a field where you have all the credentials that you need and just want to finish your studies as quickly as possible, that's fine with us. So it really, and then coming back to how long does it take to finish the master's, that's the deciding factor, I would say, in our program at least. If you do an internship, and mostly it's an internship of for 6 months, then, as I said before, more than 90% of our students finish within either 4 semesters without an internship or 5 semesters with an internship in 6 months. Doing an internship for 1 year is maybe an option, but only if you're paid well, I would say. So don't be exploited at the start of your career. You're worth more than that. If it's well paid, then fine. Or maybe if it's the company you want to work for, it's also maybe a good idea to start in any position you can get and then work your way within the company from there. That's also a strategy that many of our students have successfully followed. And I think with that, I hopefully have answered all the aspects of your question.
You did. Thank you very much. Let's have feedback from Eichel.
Yeah, I would say that computer science here, and for me that includes DSAI, is very research oriented and also theoretical. So Professor Denberg presented all the different institutes which are linked here. So we have the DFKI for artificial intelligence, and a lot of our master students who are interested in research, there are a lot of opportunities, and it's good to do it, to work as a student assistant somewhere, to be involved in a research project. It helps getting experience. It helps finding the supervisor for the master thesis, because everybody has to write a master thesis in the end. If they're more interested in research or more interested in industry, both of these two categories need finding the person or the group where they want to work. So there are a lot of opportunities, and it's important, in my opinion, to look out for it. It's possible to do an industry internship, and students can also get credits for it. Yeah. It's maybe not always as easy to write also the thesis in the company, because lots of international students, they like this way, but it's maybe not always the best or the easiest way. But depending on each individual and preferences.
Okay, thank you so much. Again, a question about eligibility and English tests. So I just want to show to all who is asking. In this case, it was Intia, about the English certificate, and it's also true again for HTW Berlin, and maybe Silke even can add on this. for example, for this program, it's already mentioned, so it was already mentioned C1 English, and then you have which scores from each test is acceptable, and in the medium of instruction certificate only from native speakers from certain countries. Further details you can see on the course page. And it will be the same for HTW Berlin. You can check the read profile, the full profile, sorry. And if you scroll down, you can see again the requirements for language B21. And here you can also have this information like if what is accepted, what is exempted, and who is exempted. And all those details are always visible on the pages. Okay, there was a question for Saarland, but it's about a different program for cybersecurity bachelor. So then I will put this link already to you directly, dear anonymous attendee. Another question was for Berlin. Do you offer scholarships or support in finding accommodation?
Yes, we do. I mentioned our student hub before with information on, yeah, basically all the aspects we can think of and that our students ask about coming to Germany and studying at a German and Berlin university. And there we will also give you detailed information and tips on how to find accommodation in Germany. And with financing, we don't have any scholarships, but we are a member of 𝘗𝘓𝘕, which is they give out credits, not credits, funding, loans, study loans. That's the word I was looking for. I'm sorry. It's an organization. It's a not-for-profit organization that has been organized by Berlin students. So they also give loans to international students, provided your university is a member in this organization, and HTW is. So that would be one way for funding, and then quite a number of our students also get DAAD scholarships and get their funding that way. Also, quite a number of our students are working next to studying, so part-time work mostly. Some also work at the university. That's also possible at HTW Berlin. And some work in the industry. It depends on your interests, really, and your profile. Yes.
Thank you. Let me stay with you. There was a question because you mentioned about it online and on-campus study options. If a student were to choose the online campus option, would they still be required to complete a master thesis, or does the program have a different format, such as the project-based capstone for online students?
No, it's still the full master's program. I mean, you're not required to finish the program. You can not write the thesis. And again, same as in Saarland, if you want to finish the program, you have to write your master's thesis. If you don't, then you will not get a degree. You will have a transcript showing that you studied the modules, but that's not the aim of the study program.
And talking about the same topic online and on campus, can one start on campus and switch to online, maybe if I'm lucky to get a job?
Yes, you can. You can also do it the other way around. Say you don't get a visa in time. You can also start on campus, switch to online and back again. Say if you need to be in your home country for a while for whatever reasons. All of that is possible because you're still studying in the same program. You're just not in the classroom. You're in front of the computer. That's really the only difference. So we don't, you can do both. You're free to choose and you're free to switch whenever you want. We've had one student who only joined us in Berlin for the graduation party. He was very successful. Most students join at least for a couple of semesters. But yeah, all variations are possible.
Mhm. Thank you. There are still these questions for Saarland about cybersecurity master and bachelor. So I am just checking if we have a webinar with one of those programs, but I couldn't find it yet. So therefore, I just put the link with these programs from Saarland in chat, so feel free to check. And there was a question, what is an easy way to apply to a program with a bachelor's in a relevant field? So I think the application procedure is the same for everyone. If you have bachelor's in cybersecurity and you want a master's in cybersecurity, it will be easy for you anyways.